It is my divine pleasure to have Zach. Zach, you reach 100K. I am so happy for you. Yay.
So exciting, and thank you because I know you were a big help and a big support in rallying people. And every time I've come on your channel, you're always like, "Let's get to 100," and we finally did it.
Well, I'm sure it's you. I have nothing to do with it. You're amazing. I mean, you're gonna get there. You're so amazing. I mean, yeah, and the threats I made, they were unnecessary apparently. Oh my goodness, how are you? I can't wait for you to get your plaque and stuff like that. It's gonna be. I'm so happy. I mean, and you're just getting started. That's amazing, Zach. I am truly, truly happy for you.
Yes, I'm
So
very excited.
tell us. I mean, I don't know if you know about this because I did a video just now, but I'm dying to talk about it. Do you know who Brigitte Macron is?
Yes.
You do.
Oh my god, the video and the statement that they released, I was like, "Do they think we're dumb?"
What did you think of? Then they have to accept it. Then they have to. First, they said that it's just that they were being playful or something, right?
Yeah, that they were it was just a, what did they say? They called it a moment of they were decompressing.
Oh,
They were just
oh,
horsing around.
yeah, two men, of course.
Yeah,
I mean, this
just
is
horsing
according to
around,
Candace.
couple of bros
I mean,
duking it out.
this is according to Candace, of course, and and actually the people who did a very good job of claiming that Brigitte is actually a man,
Yeah. I
you
mean,
know.
listen, she hasn't convinced me that she's not a man, so, like, I oh,
No,
here's
you
the thing.
keep talking here.
Look at see, like, just the way the forcefulness of the hand and the way his face, like, looks so shocked by it, and then the door open, like, it's very and then look, and they just walk out like nothing.
That's and the press is like I am just like that is domestic abuse, whether it's man to man
Yeah.
because they're both the same height and size and everything. But I mean, does that look playful to you guys? I mean, you guys are watching this.
No, the shock on his face, nothing about that looks playful.
And you know what's the worst part of it all, Zach, is that she knows, or he knows. Brigitte knows that as soon as the doors open, the cameras are on.
Yeah,
This is why she made sure she wasn't
yeah,
there on the frame.
yeah, yeah,
And this is in Vietnam Asian culture where the men, they're a very male culture. So she basically removed his balls in front of the entire Asian continent.
well, she just wanted to let him know that her balls are bigger.
Yeah, probably they are. So, but
I
I
was
know
sh
that
like, it's also just crazy that they issued this statement of, like, trying to convince us that it was just this, like, playful horsing around moment, which also not like it's t which now makes me think even more so that Brigitte is a man because it's like they're so easily lying to our faces that it's like now nothing that they say I can take with all seriousness.
but Zach, it's like the gaslighting. Dude, this is the thing that drives me insane. It's like they think we have no eyes.
Yeah.
Do they? I mean, he was caught and he waves immediately, and it makes me wonder. And you can see the flight attendant, and I wonder what the bodyguards do. And you know what's really terrible? That the press still speculating whether that was Mrs. Macron who actually shoved him. Well, if it wasn't Macron, that means Brigitte, that means that the staff pushes the president of
Yeah,
France like that.
somebody pushed him. And like, hello, you can clearly see the sleeve. Like the red sleeve is the same as the blazer that Brigitte is wearing. Like there's no
And
way that could have been anybody else.
no, not only that, it's like they're still speculating, and they go like, "Oh, well, where are the bodyguards? How can they let the president of
I
France be
think they
attacked like
know.
that?
They have to know, Paula. They have to know that this is something that happens, and it probably happens often, and they just know to not engage and turn the other cheek and just not pay attention, you know?
Yeah, because you can see the flight attendant, they're all avoiding to look, and I mean, it's really freaking uncomfortable to watch. I mean, not for me, I actually love it, but you know what I mean? It's like, can you imagine that the people there? You know what I mean? Like, and the bodyguards, what do they do? I mean, they can't restrict, but that's domestic abuse, whichever, even
Yeah.
if they're both dudes, that's domestic abuse,
Yeah, it still doesn't make it right. And they're
you know?
complicit in it by protecting it or by trying to make excuses for it. You can tell by the reaction on his face that that was not something that he was expecting or wanting. It wasn't like a playful moment.
And she comes laughing like she got him. She got him and she's all, it's like you can see her smiling, that stupid man. Look, he's gonna come out. He's gonna come. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I play around like that with my mates. And he comes out and then, and look at her or him, whatever the hell that is.
It's
It's like,
ET in a wig.
I
That's what
don't
it
know.
reminds that's what Brigitte reminds me of, ET in a wig from in the movie.
Although it is adorable. Oh, yeah. No, it's terrible. But oh my goodness, it's like you go to bed, you wake up, and I'm a little bit asleep, and I'm watching, X, and I'm like, and I go like, where are my glasses? Am I watching? Am I being pranked? And I'm like, holy crap,
Crazy.
holy. You know what this reminds me? People don't know this, but there's a Norway has a kingdom, and the crown prince married Mette Marit, right? She was a single mother. Her son is in very shady drugs and raping women like crazy, and his father is a very well known drug lord in Norway, right?
Mhm.
So, and he's been arrested by the police now, and he's awaiting trial. But Mette Marit, she was one of the Epstein girls. She used to travel all over the place with Epstein since 2008, and then when the whole thing exploded in 2019, she preemptively issued an apology because he had been there 2 months earlier. And Oscar is the private residence of the Crown Prince of Norway with his wife Mette-Marit. So Epstein had been there 2 months earlier visiting them, right? So she preemptively issued an apology saying when he was officially arrested in 2019 that she was really sorry of her of her friendship with Epstein. That she had been aware that he had had issues in the past with minors, but that she didn't know the level of PEDO that he was. So I responded in the Aftenposten. And Aftenposten is a newspaper, Norwegian newspaper. I didn't know that there were levels to that kind of behavior. Like either you are or you aren't. You know, because he was convicted in 2003 or something
Yeah.
like that, right? And then, so she said, my apologies because I was aware he was convicted for being a PEDO, but
Oh,
like,
God.
I didn't know he was that much of a PEDO.
Oh, okay. We believe that.
No, but I mean, that makes it better. I
Yeah.
was livid. I was livid. We all love Zach, and you better be, what you call it? You all better be subscribed to his channel. So again, I'm being very Latina, like it's like that. But we have to talk about so much to talk about Zach. I'm guys, oh, by the way, I'm gonna be in Toronto with Zach. Please go get Zach activated because he's gonna be in Toronto. Those of you who are gonna be in Toronto, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be at Annabelle's. Let's hope we can all get drunk together. It's a big
Yeah.
place, it holds up to 700, and I think it's 700 or 750 people.
Yeah,
So buy
guys,
your
come out,
tickets.
come hang with me and Paula. in Toronto. That's gonna be
Oh,
fun.
yes,
I'm
it's gonna
excited.
be fun. I'm gonna see if I can get somebody there that if we get him to go there, it's gonna make your night, Zach. I'll tell you later. I'll send you.
Ryan Reynolds,
No, God, no, no, no. He's a
Prince
chef.
Harry.
No, God, no. But he's a chef. That's all I can say. And I'll
Oh,
Oh, we're working on it. Yes, of course, Nina Porter Zach is awesome. Yes, 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 yes. I am jealous. Yes, I can't believe I'm gonna meet Zach. I'm such a big fan.
yay.
But we have so much to talk about because I don't know if you know that the Princess of Wales opened a ship, inaugurated a ship so beautifully. Of course, that woman. Did you see what she was wearing?
No.
Princess Catherine? Oh my goodness, Zach. That woman, I mean, she's amazing. She looks so beautiful. So of course, Meghan Markle, and of course, Princess Catherine, she takes care of bees. She's been for years. She's been like, she actually does beekeeping, right? Meghan Markle never did beekeeping or anything
No,
like.
she wouldn't even touch the bees on her own show. She was, like, so, like, weirded out by her own bee farm.
Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't she gorgeous?
Mhm.
I mean,
She's stunning, and she's so elegant and classy, and her style is so polished.
yeah, people say, oh, the times are hard, but you know what, Zach? I'm sorry. I want her to look like a princess. I don't
Yeah,
want her to come in jeans. No, Princess Catherine, please be like, like Princess Diana when she used to show up at places, even if it was opening an envelope at an elderly home deep in the woods of the United Kingdom, she would show up to the nines because she wanted people to feel proud, to make it. So
yeah.
this, I love this. Don't you think this is beautiful? I think she's gorgeous.
I think it's stunning. I think she looks great. It's very royal, which if you're part of the royal family, like, that's part of, the royal duty is to exude that elegance, and I think she does a really good job of it.
She's amazing, isn't it? I'm going to show you another picture with Prince William. Prince William Prince William is looking good. That man, the GQ walk that he has is very good looking guy. I mean, people say, oh, he's bald, so it's like, being bald is a crime. Like I was like, just shut up,
Yeah.
and just enjoy these people because they're both of them are gorgeous, and he was so proud of her. Like I think this is the two of them walking together. But look at that.
Yeah.
I mean,
They look incredible.
yeah, and she's so pretty. I mean, she's so pretty. She looks like a princess. you know
She
Like a-
does.
and I'm serious.
And
I
she
know
doesn't
that.
complain about it. She doesn't hate royal life. Like, she knows what she signed up for, and she fits the part.
Yeah, and she's proud of it too. But then what do we get, Zach? What do we get? Oh, and then of course, they posted the Princess Catherine and then Prince and Prince of Wales. They posted this bee. It's bee day. It was World Bee Day, right? For the bees.
Mhm.
Oh, they had this. I'm gonna show you this here. This is actually. I'm gonna show you, and her voice is so beautiful. I don't know if you've heard her speak, but her voice is so beautiful, Zach. Like this is the Prince and Princess of Wales. This is her actually opening the ship or inaugurating the ship. She smacks the bottle or stuff like that. So let me just show it to you here. Oh shit! Sorry, I have it on.
I have the pleasure to name this ship HMS Glasgow. May God bless her and all who sail on her.
Mm.
I mean, that's regal, isn't it? Like, I
It
mean,
is.
this is why in the United States people love royalty, I think.
Yeah, because I mean, it's a different culture. We don't have that here in the States. I mean, the best we got are Harry and Meghan.
No, 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 don't go there. But they're not royalty, are they? What is the latest that you've heard
She's
about them?
HRH,
Oh my God. No,
Her
she's not.
Royal Highness.
That cow. It's like I just can't stand that woman. I really can't stand that woman. It's she's an embarrassment. This is what Princess Catherine shared on her thing is Happy World Bee Day, right? Celebrating because she is a beekeeper, and then all the magazines in the United States, even they posted pictures of Catherine because she actually does beekeeping, like for reals, right? So we get this. These are the things that I don't understand, and I really want your take on this because I don't know. I mean, it's just an embarrassment here. I have to mute it because she has a phone. That's Meghan Markle. According to her, with Lily, that's a toddler that's about 2 years old. There are no bees, and she's wearing sandals. And the little girl's thing. If you look at that, look at coming off, and she's wearing sandals. She's not wearing boots. Look at the little hat of the little girl, almost comes off, which is actually quite dangerous. There are no bees whatsoever around.
She's so odd. Everything that she does just perplexes me. And where's the man? Remember the guy that like the actual beekeeper on the show? Well, one when she was on the show, Megan did she have all this on?
No, she had jeans and she had just like a top, and but she's wearing sandals. And it's I don't even know what to tell you. I don't even know what to tell you with this because clearly that's a toddler, and she's not the same size of the kids that she has shown previously because she did a Mother's Day picture where this is supposed to be today, right? Like last week on bee day, and she doesn't have any beehives. The beehives were in the farm that they rented, or the mansion that they rented
Yeah.
for the Netflix show.
Yeah.
Okay. So she doesn't have any bees. She's never kept bees. And if she had bees and she had taken care of bees, she would have known that bees don't live that long because in her show, she says, oh,
Yeah.
they live for like a year. I said, no, they live like 2 or 3 months. That's the lifespan of a bee. So she would know that.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
she
she
says she's
doesn't it's all
scared.
everything she does is fake.
And then she says she's scared. Then if you're scared, why are you doing that? You know what I mean? And taking the
Yeah.
kid, I mean, it is so embarrassing. I mean, what are people saying? Because she claims she's gonna have Chrissy Teigen on.
Oh god.
Didn't you know? Didn't you hear that? She said that she's gonna have Chrissy Teigen on her show along with Jose Andres, the chef.
Good for her.
But
Good luck for
Harry
her.
and Meghan had this social thing against anti-bullying youth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't
She just has
what's
to she just has to grab onto any celebrities she can get at this point to make it seem like she still has celebrity friends when I think nobody wants anything to do with them. I mean, Chrissy will jump at anything that she can get at this point to rehab her image, but I just feel like Megan and I feel like it's clearly a leveraged opportunity.
How's her podcast? Have you been following Chrissy Teigen's podcast? Because she has
No,
the
I forgot
same,
she had a
she
podcast.
has the, yeah, she has the same guests as Oprah
Oh,
and the same guests as Jamie Kern Lima.
I didn't even realize she had a podcast.
Yes, yes, I told you that the last time. I'm going to show it to you because she posts it on her Instagram. So I'm going to show it to you now. Let me see. Let me locate her Instagram first. So, because you're going to see, I don't want you to see a lot of the stuff that I have from Cristiano. Okay, this is Chrissy Teigen's, and she hasn't confirmed that she's gonna be with Meghan, right? She hasn't confirmed. But Meghan, People Magazine said that she was that Chrissy Teigen was gonna be part of Meghan's show in the second season. That this is Chrissy Teigen's thing. This is, I think, her that second attempt at making a salad. Extremely excited to announce the launch of a new strawberry mochi pancake waffle mix, perfectly pink, and she's crying. Oh my god! But she has her which who does that? Did you see that? The sausage and her boobs.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but I didn't know you didn't know that she had a podcast.
I mean, I
She does
guess I
have somewhere.
remember her launching it, but I never hear anything about it, that I completely shelved that in my memory somewhere. What's
Yeah,
it
this is
called?
her. Chrissy Teigen. This week we're talking goals. It's called something like how to get better or something like that.
Mm,
Like feeling better about yourself. I gotta tell you, she had better seats than Megan at Beyonce's concert. She's, did you notice that?
yeah.
She had better seats. She's right down there. Meghan Markle was, I don't know where she was, but she wasn't there. That's for sure. That close. But her podcast, I'm trying to remember what her podcast is called, but she does have it, and she talks about being better. And let me see. She has all the guests that Oprah has. So this is the guy that Oprah had. So I don't know if they're passing the guests around. This is Amazon, the same thing that Megan. Oh, it's called Self Conscious with Chrissy
Mm,
Teigen. This is the
interesting.
same thing that they did for Megan. So, and the guests that she's had are basically the same that Oprah has.
Yeah.
So it's like, it makes you
Ugh,
wonder, like, I guess they all run in the same crowd kind of thing,
or have the
you know.
same reps.
But I thought you would have heard more about her podcast. So that's not very well known in the US right now.
I
Nobody's
mean,
talking about it.
I'd never hear about it.
Okay, that's not good for her, is it? Well, she's going to be. Megan declared that she's going to be on her show, but Chrissy Teigen hasn't posted it on her socials at all. So I don't know.
Is she gonna be on her podcast, or she's gonna be on the
No,
Netflix show?
she's going to be on her with Love Megan,
Oh, fun.
and Jose
When
Andres
does
is going
that
to.
come out? When is the second season drop? Or
I thought
yeah,
she
part 2
said that
drop?
is in September, and that's she said. And correct me if I'm wrong, because you're in Hollywood. When you're in high demand and you're a rock star of something like Netflix, they would want to keep you and pay you more money, right?
Yeah.
Well, she just published, because everybody ran with it, that Netflix had signed her up and that she's getting. What she's saying in that article is saying that Ted Sarandos calls her a rock star, but that it, it makes sense to sign her up again in September, so everybody saves face, even if it is for less money. So how could Ted Sarandos, the CEO of Netflix, call her a rock star, but yet she's willing to sign on for less money in order to save face?
I mean, not every anything whatever she does, it always it never surprises me, but it's just she's literally something else. Like, I can't.
I mean, but what is it? What do you guys hear about? Because now they hire like 9 people. None of them are Latinos or black, white only. They got the new royal court because now Meghan has her own chief of staff and Harry has like they're all divided chief of staff. The royal court, that they're trying to compete with the royal family. So
For being that they don't wanna be part of the royal family, they sure can get rid of, the ro like, being royal. They wanna be royal so bad. I think what it is, they realize they fumbled the ball by leaving the royal family and trashing the royal family. They know they'll never be welcomed back in, not at this rate at least, and they are just trying to clamor onto anything they can at this point.
but do you think really that, I mean, it's 9 people. Where do you think they're getting the money?
I don't know. I mean, even with all their crazy security measures and when they were showing up in New York with the 4-car security detail, like, I don't know where they're getting this money from. They must be blowing whatever money like Spotify gave them and Netflix gave them. I think they're just pissing all of that money away, and it's not going to last. I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to end up on reality TV in a couple years just to keep the lights on.
And did you hear about the story of the flight attendant from American Airlines, that showed a napkin letter of Meghan Markle?
Oh yeah.
But page 6 showed a picture of Meghan Markle from 2016 when she was coming to London. They don't have actual footage of that photo. of her. And I mean, and there's this woman hasn't posted anything for almost 12 months. Apparently, she doesn't work for American Airlines anymore. American Airlines changed the color of their and the style of their uniform. Now it's really dark blue. It's just wearing this light thing. And the American Airlines, they have very strict policies on nails. You cannot have acrylic nails, and they can, if you have longer nails, they can only be like half, like a quarter of an inch, or like long for health and safety and hygiene reasons, right? So now the woman apparently is really upset about the backlash she received from, I guess, lying so publicly because Megan implying that she flew commercial, and the AA girlies, I mean, why do they do? I really don't understand. So what do you guys make of all of that when in the U.S.?
I mean, I honestly, I don't think anyone's paying that much attention to Meghan Markle anymore. I
Really?
think her popularity is kind of faded. I mean, and the only things that we do hear about her are like these, her Netflix show that was kind of a flop that nobody really cared about, or what else do we have? Her podcast that nobody's listening to. Nobody's paying attention to her podcast. So it's not I feel like her popularity here in the US is really starting to fade. I think once Prince Harry came out with his book, it kind of just cheapened their overall brand. And then all these stories come out about how difficult Meghan is and how, she berates all of her staff. And I just think people like they don't, fawn over her the way that they used to.
And apparently Harry's in Shanghai right now, hawking travel list. It is so embarrassing. I don't even want to show the video because it embarrasses the royal family so bad. And he timed it so he would coincide with King Charles going to Canada because he arrived today in Canada. So he goes to Shanghai. So I'm not going to give him publicity. But it looks like, how they do those cheap things like those, not even TED Talk. It's like you see this crowd, and it's like, I don't know, they're saying something, Prince Harry, and then he runs to the stage, and it's like, I mean, I cringed, and I don't usually cringe that easily, but
Yeah.
And now we're gonna have to talk about Taylor Swift because I've been dying to have you here because what the hell is going on there? There was, guys, I have to ask this to Zach because I want to see if I understood you correctly. Apparently, the screenshots that were given to the New York Post or Times or whatever the hell the newspaper was, they were taken directly from the cloud when she didn't have her phone. Is that something like that? When Justin Baldoni's agent didn't have the phone, or they were still using her cloud, and they took screenshots.
Yeah, so she took the phone and let go of Jennifer Abel, so Stephanie Jones is Justin Baldoni's former publicist. She runs Joneswork PR. There was another woman, Jennifer Abel. She was the one that worked directly with Baldoni. So even though Stephanie Jones was like the head of the company, it was Jennifer Abel that was like his direct contact, his direct publicist. And so when Stephanie Jones found out that Jennifer Abel was going to be leaving the company and that Justin Baldoni and Wayfair decided to leave with her and to not stay, with Jones' work, then Stephanie Jones got upset. She fired Jennifer Abel, and then Jennifer Abel claims that she held her hostage, made her sign paperwork with an attorney there and a security guard there, and made her turn over her phone. And it was in that phone that I guess Stephanie Jones got access to her iCloud and all of her accounts. And so eventually Jennifer Abel was able to fight to get her phone number back because it was her personal phone number, even though it was a company phone. So the device belonged to the company, but the number was Jennifer Abel's, and Jennifer Abel used the phone both as a work phone and a personal phone. So that's where it's going to get really interesting in terms of privacy laws of like, well, technically, yes, the device itself belonged to Jones' work, but the phone number did not belong to Jones' work. So then it gets dicey in terms of, well, who is the true owner of those messages? Would it be the company or would it be Jennifer Abel, being that it was also her personal phone? Because then Stephanie Jones took those messages and handed them over to Blake Lively, which were then published in the New York Times and being used against Baldoni and his team. Now, I believe after Jennifer Abel even got her phone number back, because eventually she fought Joneswork PR and she got her phone number back, but Stephanie Jones still had access to the iCloud up until January of this year.
Oh,
And she didn't even, because when she got the phone, she was able to log in the devices. And
And
so
she
she
didn't check
still
to
had
see if there were any devices available or attached still?
I don't think she even,
Thought
thought.
about
I think
it.
she just was like, "I'm fighting her just to get my phone." I don't think she expected to still be for Stephanie Jones to still be monitoring her stuff. Like, I don't
Or
think
maybe
she
she didn't think that they were monitoring to begin with.
right. I don't yeah. And so I think they realized that this was an issue when the text messages came out in the New York Times because then that's when she realized, "Oh, well, she did know that she found out that Stephanie Jones was taking personal text messages and sharing them around the company because other coworkers were coming to her and being like, "I saw the text messages. I saw what you said about me." Yada yada yada. So Stephanie Jones was circulating her messages. So again, to me, that's going to come down to a really big, once this case goes before a jury, that's going to be a really big issue of invasion of privacy and whether or not there were rights that were violated. Because not only are there the privacy laws, but then I would imagine being that Baldoni and Wayfair, being that they were former clients of Jones' work, that there are certain confidentiality agreements that had to have been signed where you can't just, rat out or share personal messages of your own clients that I'm sure that's going to come into play as well. So we'll see. There are multiple trials going on or multiple lawsuits that will likely lead to trial. There's obviously the big one, which is Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni. Then there's Baldoni versus the New York Times. Then there's
What's happening with that one? Nothing's
it's kind
nothing's
of at
been
a
ruled?
standstill right now. Everyone's going into the discovery process, so they're trying to dig up evidence. This is where we've seen Taylor Swift get dragged into things, but discovery is happening over the summer. I believe by August is when they have to have all their depositions done.
Mm.
And that's going into the fall is when discovery should be wrapped. And then everybody gets their case and starts to put it together for the trial, which is set for March of next year. But as of right now, everything's kind of at a standstill because Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, the New York Times, and their publicist, Leslie Sloan, have all filed motions to dismiss. So they want the judge to shut down Baldoni's lawsuit against them and say that it's not valid. That's not likely going to happen, but we're waiting for the judge to rule on those. That way, the lawsuits can officially move forward.
How did Stephanie Sloan get the password to her cloud?
They made her give it to her. When they took the phone, they had her give, I guess, act the um passcode to the into the phone. I don't know how I mean, I don't know the details of how she hacked or accessed the iCloud. I just know she had access to it. It may have still been from the phone, right? The original device was still technically registered to that iCloud, and if she never signed out of it, then she could have used that same phone to gain access to the iCloud.
Yeah, because my cousin, she works for HR. She's the director of HR in a company in California, and they gave her a phone with dual chip, right? So because she had her own phone, so they said no, you can use it, but she had to sign a document where it says that they gave her that device, but that number is hers.
Yeah.
And then they couldn't basically stating that they don't own that number. That is her number,
Right. They
and they
only
have
own
no
the
rights or
physical
anything.
device. And so I think that
Exactly.
was the same situation with Jennifer Abel, but Stephanie Jones, it just appears, started playing real dirty in the end. And again, she hired a security guard and she had an attorney, and they held her in the conference room and made her plug her phone into a forensic, analysis software that was access the text messages, and it's crazy.
That is disgusting. And now with Taylor. So Taylor now says she regrets the friendship with
Yeah,
what's her name?
like
Blake.
lively.
And she handed over all the text messages and stuff like that. What is I mean, I'm dying. I'm dying because first I want to know if that is the case, does that mean we're never gonna see what Taylor Swift said or did or anything in exchange for I
It
mean,
sounds like Taylor Swift's team cut a deal
oh,
to keep her out of it. They're
fucking
like,
hell. I
"We'll give
swear to
you
God,
dirt
why
on
can't they let
Blake."
us gossip? Why can't
So
they let us gossip, do our job?
I I know. Because I wanted to see and read the text messages too. Um, but so we don't know exactly what happened. We just know, what's happened in what's been filed in court. And so it appears, based off of what we saw play out over the last week and a half or so, that Taylor Swift's team cooperated with Justin Baldoni and gave them information that they needed to use against Blake Lively. So it's unlikely that the text messages or all of the text messages have been turned over. But there are two key allegations that Baldoni's team has made. One of them is that Blake asked Taylor Swift to delete certain text messages. So I'm sure Taylor provided some sort of evidence to show that Blake asked her to delete that, which would be witness tampering and evidence spoliation. And then the other piece is the extortion, where they claim that Blake Lively's attorneys threatened Taylor Swift's attorneys and said if she doesn't issue a statement of support, then Blake is going to leak 10 years of text messages between them.
How much of an imbecile do you have to be to threaten Taylor Swift? I mean,
Talk about
her
a
father
dumb
is a
move.
shark. Her father is a shark.
Yeah.
I mean, and Taylor Swift is a walking several $billion industry. There's no way they're going to
Yeah.
let her fall for this. But I have to ask you something. If she cuts a deal with Baldoni, if she's still implicated in the New York Post thing, she can't just weasel her way out of that if she's involved in any of that. Because then the
Well,
New York Post, or that's the New Yorker, which
New
era,
York
which the New York Times. If the judge gives the go ahead to go with the lawsuit, and Taylor Swift has something to do with it, they're not going down for it alone.
I don't think she had much to do. I don't think she had anything to do with the New York Times article. Her involvement was in relation to the film and how much of that takeover of the film Taylor was involved in. And I don't think it was much. I think Blake used Taylor's name to get what she wanted more than Taylor even cared to have any sort of. I mean, because you have to remember Taylor
Baldoni
was on.
said that he also met with her for the screening the actors and stuff like that.
There was a meeting, yes. So Taylor did have some involvement, but I don't think she had a heavy hand in it. I think a lot of it was Blake telling Justin, Taylor thinks this, and Taylor supports me, and Taylor's my dragon. And I think she was using Taylor's name to get what she wanted more than Taylor cared to be a part of the movie. I mean, because you have to remember, Taylor Swift was on tour that year. That I'm sure she was helping her friend with the project and probably had some influence or some insight, but I don't think Taylor Swift is that important to this case at the end of the day. I think the only key that Baldoni's team needed was to implicate Blake. And so listen, even if Taylor was more involved, it doesn't seem like we're going to ever know about that at this point, because it doesn't seem like Baldoni's team is going to be going after Taylor because they got what they needed against Blake. So we'll see. Taylor, I'm sure, will have her day at some point, but it's
She will
unlikely to
need
be
to
related to it.
testify regardless. She needs to be deposed, right?
Well, I'm sure that part of her, part of whatever deal they made with her was that she would still be deposed. That will likely happen over the summer. She'll likely have to answer some questions under oath, and I presume she'll throw Blake under the bus. But we'll have to see. I don't think we'll see Taylor in the actual trial. I think her deposition will likely be enough because they'll be able to use that and play that at trial, but it's unlikely that we'll see her actually take the stand. I think same thing with Hugh Jackman, same thing with Bradley Cooper. Like, if any of them get pulled into this further, I think they're going to do everything they can to avoid having to appear at the trial. But the thing is, depositions are happening over the summer. They are video depositions. So those videos will likely be played at the trial. We just won't physically see them at the trial. And I don't think there would be a real need for that. I think at this point,
Yes, there would
Baldoni's
be.
team.
I want to see them walking into court. I want to see them sitting down
I
and
agree.
testifying. I mean, what do you mean there's no need? I need that.
I think the next strategy is going to be, because now we've heard that the way Blake Lively obtained these text messages is she used one of her, or it appears she used one of her shell companies named Van Zandt. And so she used Van Zandt to file this lawsuit where she didn't name any defendants, but she claims Van Zandt was harmed in this alleged behavior, this harmful behavior, this breach of contract, which again, there's no contract reference, there's no damages listed, there's no any, the lawsuit itself was so vague that there are no detail, like nobody knows what actually happened, but somehow Van Zandt was claiming that they were harmed by these 10 anonymous Jane and John Does, and that's how they were able to issue the subpoena to Stephanie Jones, who then turned over all of the text messages. So Brian Friedman, I think, is going to have to prove that that lawsuit was done in bad faith and it was an abuse of the legal system and it was a sham lawsuit and not, it was never intended to be a real lawsuit. And if he can prove that, then that invalidates the subpoena and it invalidates the text messages, which then throws Blake's entire case out of the water because her whole, retaliation campaign is dependent on these text messages that she got from Stephanie Jones. But if those text messages become invalid, she has no real case.
That's not good.
It's not good. So I think her case is crumbling, but we're just gonna have to, hope that Brian Friedman can get it past the finish line and get those text messages thrown out.
And then what's his name? Ryan Reynolds went on a podcast and he was mocking Meghan Markle's jam. I mean, he's trying to throw shade. Did you see that?
No.
Oh yeah. He went on this podcast. It was some guy who's famous because he's doing the rounds now, right? And then he said they were talking about his dead father or something like that, and he goes, because apparently his father wasn't very nice, right? So he goes like, I wish I could pull a Meghan Markle on my father if he were still alive. I'm like, and then, they were making fun of her spread, that Harry was trying to look for her wet berries in some place. And
Oh my
I mean,
God.
he was a little bit funny, but still and apparently when, that Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively were at the Time 100 gala, right?
Yeah.
Well, apparently Meghan invited Blake Lively to come in her podcast and to film one of the shows with Love Meghan, because apparently she is using her own money to reshoot the other 8 episodes.
Oh.
So, yes, because you see, they filmed 16 episodes last year.
Yeah.
But
I didn't know they were reshooting.
the other 8 episodes, when she said that she had Jose Andres on that stage, and Jose Andres the day before on Access had said, no, I'm not on her show, maybe 3rd or 4th season. But then the very next day, which was on Time 100, he goes, well, one of the guests, and Ted Sarandos is going to kill me. It's Jose Andres, and it's like basically contradicting. And Jose Andres, I believe he didn't even know about that. Because if you could have started, that's how you hook people in Hollywood. You start strong, right?
Yeah.
You could have started with Jose Andres, even with that bully Chrissy Teigen, then Mindy Kaling, Roy Choi, or like stuff like that. Instead, she started with a stylist. No shade on the stylists worldwide.
Yeah, it was a dumb choice.
Right? But apparently she wants Blake Lively to come on one of her shows, and want to film with Love Meghan, because, Blake Lively did this thing where she baked a pie or something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember where it was, but apparently she invited her, and they might. So, I mean, how desperate are they?
I mean, yeah, Meghan knows that that'll get people to watch. It's the only thing they would. I mean, that's wild.
And did you hear that Gwyneth was asked if she would like to come on Meghan Markle's show? And she said, yes, why not? I just don't know how to bake, but why not?
I don't know if that'll realistically happen.
No, well, I don't know what they're doing. You know how Hollywood is. I mean, but can you imagine Blake Lively's? I mean, she had hair and donuts someplace, and then she's
Yeah.
driving, Blake no teeth and Meghan Markle full of teeth. It's like, I mean, that would be something. Apparently, she's desperate. She even contacted Dolly Parton because she wanted to have Dolly Parton, and clearly Dolly Parton just looked the other way.
Yeah. Dolly's not going to be bothered by that.
No. She's not going to roll like that. So what do you think is going to happen with the Taylor Swift thing? And how do you see this lawsuit going?
I mean, I think everybody's waiting for Blake to buckle and to settle, but I don't think she's going to do that. I think she's going to take this, just like Amber Heard, all the way to the end. And she's going to try to, win this case. I don't know if I don't believe she has a strong case. We'll have to see. I don't think she has any strong evidence that supports her case. And that's why we see her trying really hard to get Baldoni's team to fork over evidence. But I don't know. I think she's delusional enough to take this all the way to trial. And
But she has no choice, Zach, because
at this point, she has to, yeah.
You know what I would do if I were her? And I said it in one of my videos. I would say, crying, I would go like, I am so sorry. I misunderstood everything. I had just given birth to a baby. I was feeling body conscious,
Yeah.
and you know that when you have a baby, you are highly hormonal. I
Yeah.
know that for a fact, and you have like what's called baby brain and stuff like that. And I was feeling very insecure, and I was, misinterpreting things. Although from what we saw filming, she didn't seem like she was misinterpreting things. But
No,
let's say,
she
let's
seemed
go
pretty
to
clear, but no, yeah, I agree with you. I've recommended the same strategy where she just has to lean into being, a new mom, insecure about her body, mommy brain, distracted, all over the place, maybe a little irrational. She was dealing with maybe some postpartum anxiety, postpartum OCD,
and conscious
something.
about her weight, which is why she overreacted, and she
Yeah,
felt that she was, because women are conscious about that, especially
yeah,
after you give birth and you're a Hollywood celebrity and you're forced to like look like you weigh like 100 pounds right after you give birth. You know what I mean? If I were her, I would do that and I would cry and I would apologize to Justin Baldoni. And I would say it was all on me. I apologize. It's like, I'm really sorry, Justin. You don't deserve that. I am sorry if I misunderstood everything. And I would cry and I would be holding that baby, that she was breastfeeding. I don't know how old the baby is now, but, like I'd be crying. Like, I would do that to
yeah.
get myself out of this.
I mean, yeah, and I think, it would be a winning strategy for them to throw Stephanie Jones under the bus to say, "Listen, the reason we
Exactly. Why
believe."
don't they
Yeah,
do that?
I think that that's the smart. Listen, Stephanie Jones also doesn't have a really good reputation. That I think it's smart for Blake Lively's team. I don't know if they're going to drop the harassment allegations. I think they're going to. I agree with you. I think she could flip the narrative and really just lean into being a new
Are
mom
you
because I think that that's
kidding?
something relatable to a lot of people. That I think some people would be willing to at least give her some grace if she's willing to take accountability. And I think throw it back on Stephanie Jones. Say Stephanie Jones came to us. They
Probably
gave
it's
us
true,
she
and you know
showed
what?
us.
It's probably true.
I believe that's exactly what happened. But if they throw her under the bus and say Stephanie Jones gave us all the text messages and convinced us that there was this retaliation campaign and we believed her. We had no reason to not believe her, so we believed her and to just pass the buck back onto her and say we're sorry, let's withdraw this altogether. We were misled, and do everything that they can at this point to try and save
Because I
her.
remember Justin Baldoni said in his lawsuit that he genuinely believes that Blake believed that there was a campaign against her. Remember, they even tried to use that against him.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think he was
sure.
throwing an olive branch to them and saying, you know what? I think they should sink Stephanie Jones, and I think Blake Lively should come out full tears grabbing that baby she was breastfeeding and say, I'm so sorry. I probably took things out of hand. It's cost me my friendship with my bestie. And, I was just so terrified and blah, blah. But I don't think Taylor's going to forgive her now that it's come out that
No,
she
I
was
don't think Taylor's
blackmailing
gonna
her.
forgive.
That's not good. I've forgotten about that, though. No, that's not good. But then they can blame the lawyer. Maybe they can say the lawyer was just using a tactic just, to get some support.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not looking good, is it?
No, it's not, and I just don't foresee her winning any of this. I mean, and even what we're seeing in court right now, like,
She
they're
cannot.
trying to jump through every legal loophole and trying to get off on technicalities, and anybody that has a strong case with evidence doesn't need loopholes and technicalities and semantics to, try and plead their case.
Yeah, yeah, no, like exactly because I don't see the but even then because the movie did well where and she hasn't suffered any losses. Justin Baldoni has,
Yeah.
but like, do you know if the place that that he had won an award and that was taken back? Do you know if those people have issued an apology statement or
I don't
anything
think
like that?
so. No, they haven't, and I don't think that they will until the case gets resolved, until it goes to trial and he's exonerated. But, like, here's the thing, I think no matter what, even if he wins the trial, I don't know if it helps. Like, I feel like there are some people that already see him as a predator, and they will always see him as a
Just
predator
like
moving
Johnny
forward.
Depp.
Yeah, and it's like and that's just the reality of, like, once you throw out allegations like that, it's just planted in people's minds, and that's just what people are gonna believe. I mean, the amount of insanity that we're seeing people twist themselves into pretzels to try and still defend Blake's behavior even now, or defend her stuff with Taylor right now. It's like, it's so crazy how, obsessively blind that they are in all of this.
And that asshole Brandon Sklenar,
Yeah.
he's getting a movie on his own or something like that. I saw the other day.
Yeah.
Well, which movie is that? So I don't watch it.
I don't know. I saw a headline that he has
And it's
something new
like,
coming out.
is he still supporting them? Because I know that quite a few
Yeah.
have stopped.
I think he, last I checked, he was still at least following them on social media and still liking some of Ryan Reynolds' posts. So it seems like he's still, you know,
He's still
all
part
good
of
with
it.
them. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that is not good. But well, so we're gonna wrap it up, guys, and we're gonna give Zach thank you for being here because it's always awesome. And you better go subscribe, buy tickets if you're gonna be in Toronto or any other of the other places. You have to go because he's gonna have guests all the time. So and he's gonna be in Dallas on July 11. Phoenix
Yes.
July 13, Philadelphia on the 23rd, Toronto the 24th, Brooklyn, New York, the 26th. I have some friends in Brooklyn. I'm going to tell them to go see you. Chicago, I don't have any friends. Seattle, no. Los Angeles, I have a bunch of people. But yeah, but so go check out and please go subscribe to Zach, guys. We need to get him to 200K. So, 100K is not enough. We need to get him to 200 now.
A million.
A million, yes,
1
yes.
million.
1 million. That's it. That's all we ask. Thank you for coming, sweetie, and thank
Thank
you
you,
for
Paula.
giving us the tea. Let me know if you have any news on Meghan Markle and Blake Lively. If you hear anything about Blake Lively going onto her show to film with Love, because apparently Blake Lively, from what it was told, she didn't react badly to the idea
Hmm. Well, no,
because.
she's gonna do everything she can to keep herself looking like she's relevant.
Yeah, but isn't she like? How did the movie do with the one that she was promoting, the one that you went to see? How did it do in the box office
Which
with
one?
Anna Kendrick?
Oh, Another Simple Favor. Well, again, it's on Amazon Prime. It didn't premiere in theaters. It was a
Oh
direct to
God.
streaming. And when it's on streaming, they don't disclose those numbers, so we don't know how well it did. But we did see that Paul Feig, the director, he posted saying that it was the number one movie in the world, which on Amazon, if nothing else is premiering, nothing else is new, Amazon doesn't put out a ton of content often. So, of course, anything new that they launch is going to immediately be number one on the app because it's the one new thing that people are watching. So it was a little deceptive, but yeah, they
Oh,
claim it's doing well, but who knows how accurate that is.
I
Like
hate
Meghan
it when
Markle,
they
she was
do
like,
that.
my show is in the top 10.
Phew.
Like the numbers.
No, you mean they fudge him?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And well, thank you very much for coming. I want to next time you come, I want to ask you about Erica Jane because
Oh yeah.
where I am, I love Erica Jane. I thought that people were saying she was out of the Real Housewives, and I'm like, that's odd because I saw her, and I mean, why would they get rid of her? I mean, this
They're
woman.
not
I
going to
mean,
get
just
rid of her.
having that woman on that show is drama enough. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly. They're not
You
getting rid of
know.
her.
But people were like, "No, Erica Jane is not coming back." So when it was like when I saw her there, I was like, "Bitches, right there you go." You have Erica Jane is back. So no, we have to talk about that because I'm a huge. You have no idea how much of a huge fan I am. I sometimes I feel embarrassed talking about it because it's kind of like Selling Sunset. I watch that stupid show too.
Yeah.
I'm a big
No, I love Erica.
So yeah, no, I know. I saw you interviewed her, so we have to talk about her. So please go subscribe to Zach, guys, if you haven't. And he's amazing, and he's and go buy tickets to his gets activated. He also has merch, and we'll see you soon, Zach. And
Yeah, we
thank you
have
for
Justice
coming.
for Justin shirts that we just restocked
Oh,
those.
oh yeah, yeah. You sold that very well, and you donated money from that, right?
Yeah. We donated $6,600.
Oh wow. I think it was for domestic abuse or something like that
Mhm.
that you
The
donated.
No More, yeah, the No More organization, which was the foundation that Justin Baldoni, it's the charity that he supports. So we
Oh,
donated the money
double
in his
slap.
honor.
That is so catty. I love it. I love it. Hopefully he can come on your show. Have you tried to reach out to him?
I think once the trial's done, he'll be more willing to speak out.
Yeah, because he didn't even go to Cannes, did he?
No,
And
I think
Scarlett
right now
Johansson.
he's trying to lay low and just, let this all play out.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, thank you for coming, Zach, and we'll see you soon. And go buy the tickets, guys. And thanks for watching the live. And don't forget to subscribe to Zach's channel. And have a great day, guys. Thank you so very much. Bye.